This is a tutorial for a quick, simple, sports-themed wallpaper background for a computer desktop. Alright, first thing, we've got a few images here. We're going to combine these three images to make a pretty nice looking wallpaper. So the first thing is we need to remove our person from our background, and for this we're just going to use the magnetic lasso. Just drag around. And we've gone over this before in another lesson with my students, so I'm really not going to explain how to use this one, but it should be the best tool to select your individual from your background. And you'll notice that it is we will have to go in to quick mask mode, which is new for my students, to get the areas that where it kind of jumps up a little bit. Alright, so we got some areas that we need to include here, so we'll just hit Q on the keyboard, quick mask mode. We'll choose our eraser, and if the color on top is black, it'll bring the color back, and if the color on top is white, then it's gonna bring in the red color. Okay, the red color is what's going to be deleted, the black is what we're going to keep. So we just need to zoom in, hit those areas that we may be missing, and this will take just a couple minutes. Just going in, getting our areas, and again, just like last time, you want a softer brush, not 100% on hardness. And then once we do this, we should be ready to go. Alright. And then if you hit Q, you can notice what's selected, what's not. And there's some other tools that you can use if you need to. You don't have to just use quick mask and eraser to do that. But as you know, Photoshop has multiple tools to do a lot of similar jobs, especially what we're doing right now. So we'll just go around, keep cleaning this up. And then a little bit of space in here is fine. Like I said, this is just a quick tutorial video. If you wanted to clean it up, you could go back and do that. And after we do the image, if you notice you have too much green or something coming through, it's something that you can go in and fix after the fact. So alright, I believe we should be good here now. So we'll zoom out. See what we have. We are going to miss some of his hair. You could go back and grab that, of course, yourself. If you wanted to add it in now, you could, and then go back and just get a little more precise with it with an eraser later. Alright, so what we're going to do here, we're going to bring this down. We're going to go File, New. We're going to create a new document. We'll do it for a typical size computer screen, so we'll go 1680 pixels wide and 1050 on the height. Hit OK, and it's going to give us this here. Alright, so we're going to take you. We're going to use our move tool, this top one here, or V on the keyboard. We're going to drag, drop them over, and then we're going to come back here. And we're going to move him. You can move him to the left or the right. I'm just going to go and put him on the right and just line up the bottom right here with the bottom of the screen, obviously, so you don't have any space there. So you want your individual to cover most of the screen, such as this. Now if you needed to resize them, you can. And before you drag from a corner, you always want to hold down shift when you drag from a corner to resize. Keep it perspective, hit enter, and the picture quality was high enough that it's not going to be blurry or anything, but you don't want a whole lot of space above, but you don't want them all the way to the top either. Alright, so we're going to duplicate our U layer, U Darvish. So we're going to hit Control J to get this. Now we're going to go through, we're going to click on our U layer, hide the copy. Alright, from here we're going to go to Image, Adjustments, Levels, and we're going to drag this slider here all the way to the left, so that all we have is basically a silhouette of them. Hit OK. Now the next step from here, we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. We're going to do 0 degrees, distance 144. So 0 degrees, 144. Hit OK. And then we're going to go back, Filter, Motion Blur again, which should be at the top this time. If it's not, you could just go Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, and this time we're going to change the degrees to 90, and then we're going to have 144. So if you move it out of the way, you'll notice you got that around in all directions. Hit OK from here. Okay, so we're finished with this layer, so click on your copy. You'll notice that you have that little motion blur behind the individual. Alright, the next thing, and you can change this color if you wanted to. If you right click here, go to blending options, color overlay, and then you could change this to any color that you wanted to, so it doesn't have to be black, but this is something you want to wait for until the very end after you figure out what color you're going to make your background, and then you can figure out what you want to do about the color around them. But we're just going to leave it black for now. Alright, the next part, we're going to select our background. We're going to come over here, choose a darker gray color, and this is something you can change later again if you need to. Hit OK, and then we're just going to go to Edit, Fill with Foreground Color. You might have to select this, hit OK, and that'll give us this. And like I said, we'll probably have to change that to a little darker later. Alright, and you can also use any other color. If you want to use like a red, a blue, whatever, it just needs to be on the darker side, darker shade. Okay, the next item we're going to use our little marble here. You can use any picture, any type of marble, granite, stuff like that. Drag it over, and then we're going to bring this layer underneath everything. We're going to hit Control T. Okay, this time we're not going to hold shift when we drag, because with this picture it's not necessary. After you've resized it, hit enter. Okay, now if you have a picture that has color in it, it's not just black and white like this one, you need to desaturate it. So if you hold Control Shift U, it would remove all the color from this layer. Alright, so we're going to change the blending mode here. to multiply. So click on layer 1. We'll call this granite. Then we're going to change the blending mode to multiply, and you'll notice it gets a little darker. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is do his name. So we'll click our text tool, and then we'll just drag one box here. We'll do U, and you can choose whatever font you want. We'll go around size 60 for now. We'll come back, you click on our move tool so that it's set by itself. Click our text tool again, drag another little text box underneath. This time we'll go a white color. We're going to change our font size to about 140, and we'll type in Darvish. Alright. Okay, so from here we're going to move Darvish above, and then U. His name's a little different because it's so short, so we've made increase this a little bit because it does look kind of awkward. Now if you had something like Peyton Manning, it would look pretty good scaled down like this. So, but since his is so short, we're gonna have to do something a little different. Okay, so we have that. And then if you wanted to move him over a little bit, then you could still do that. Alright, now the next part is we need to bring the T over, so we'll just use magic wand. We'll select this here, and then we'll also select that to get rid of that. Okay, so what we want to do when we bring over the white and red part here, so we've got this selected, which is the opposite of what we want, so we're going to hit Control Shift I for inverse. Bring this down. We're going to use the move tool, bring this across, and then it's going to give us this. Alright, so we're going to hit Control T. I'm going to zoom out. Alright, hit Control T. We have to zoom out. When you have large pictures, it'll show you the borders here. And then again, we're just going to hold down Shift. We'll rotate it a little bit. Resize it again. Bring it over. And kind of move it around somewhere that you would like the way it looks. And you kind of want to go oversized when you do these. And if it cuts it off a little bit, that's fine. It's part of it. Hit Enter. Okay, so from here we're going to go up to our blending styles, and then we're going to go down to overlay, and you'll notice how it puts this in the background. Still the grunge and everything's coming through. Now if you have too much texture coming through and you don't like it, so let's say you don't like that being so obvious, you can change the opacity and it'll change how much of the texture comes through. Okay, the next step is we're going to go through, change the background color from gray to another color if you wanted to. So you come down, choose a color that you want to use. He's wearing red, so we'll do a bluer background. Hit OK. Come to your gradient tool, click on your paint bucket. You have to right click on your paint bucket. Make sure you're on background. Just click, and then get this color here. If you want to bring out the color of the Texas logo better, first we're going to duplicate the background copy, or the background, make a copy of it, and we're going to hide the original background. Now on your Texas layer, your logo, we'll just call it logo real quick, hold down Control, click on the little icon so that the logo selected, come down, click on your background copy, hit delete, and then Control D, and that'll bring this, all the color back to this. If you right click on your text layer for Darvish, go to blending options, you can go to an outer glow or a stroke, and we'll just put a stroke around the edge of this one, and then you can change your colors here, whatever color you want to use, and then we'll go a little bluer, so you can do that, or you could just stick, to plain black, which looks fine also. And then whatever color you choose, you want to go through and apply it to the next one also. So we're also going to apply it to his name. So we'll go back to blending options, go to stroke, we'll just do black, hit OK, and we have that. Alright, so this is how you could do a quick, easy grunge style background. Now, like I was telling you earlier, if you wanted to change the color of the shadow here, you right click on the layer that has the shadow, go to blending options, go to color overlay, and this is where you could go in and it'll give you a preview of the different colors as you work through. So if you wanted to use a different color, you could do that. So some colors are going to look good, some aren't. Usually I want to stick with team colors or something that complements the background real well, the other colors on the screen. But for this one, the blue, even the blue glow around the edge, looks pretty nice also. So I'll just stick with that one. Hit OK. And then you can change the opacity over here also. And then you can kind of get in between the black layer and then in between the blue layer here. So we're going to stick with that, hit OK, and that's how you can do just a quick, simple, grungy style wallpaper.